Hello and welcome. You're watching Galaxy News and here are the headlines. Federal Executive Council approves framework agreement for the establishment of a continental free trade area. As Federal High Court Abuja adjourns to deliver ruling on application by former National Publicity Secretary of the PDP seeking permission to travel abroad for medical treatment. Outside Nigeria, 1 month after killing students, school staff across the U.S. commemorate Florida school shootings with a walkout. And on sports news, Iceland FA boss Gudni Betsen wants Nigeria show of qualification from top Group D. Details in a moment. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Justin Akadonye. We begin from Abuja. Now, the Federal Executive Council has approved a framework agreement for the establishment of a continental free trade area. The decision formed part of decisions taken at the end of Wednesday's Federal Executive Council meeting held in the Presidential Villa. Now, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Okechukwu Inela-Amaho, addressed journalists after the meeting, said the trade area, when established, would liberalize trade among African countries. He said the free trade zone will increase Africa's trade level from its current 13% to 15%.
It's very important in going into the agreements that it's clear that we're doing what's good for Nigeria.
The Nigerian organized labor had kicked against the country's involvement in the intercontinental trade plans, but Mr. Inelama said the area, when established, will give access to Nigeria's products and people. A Minister of Petroleum and FCT also gave account of their stewardship on council's approvals to their ministries.
Nigeria, which means that we want it to generate more export. We want African markets 1.2 billion, we're 180 million. We're an ambitious people, we have an ambitious economic agenda, and we're going into this wanting to clearly improve access, market access for our products and our people. Approved for Nigeria to sign that framework agreement establishing the African Continental Free Trade Area in Kigali on March 21st, which will be signed by our president at an extraordinary session of the AU.
Seasoned professionals have given all the guidance that is required to fix the refineries. We came into a situation where we don't have money to fix the refineries. You have to raise the money. We created a PPP model. It has to go through a process. The technical committee is headed by NNPC. Obviously, they submit their reports to the board as and when they complete their work. So from a governance and guidance and steering point of view, I think that steering is right on track and right on time.
Approvals that we got for the road network, for the Abuja Greater Water System, as well as the Abuja Light Rail System. We also discussed at length issues relating the position of the FCT and the FCC, that's the Federal Capital City.
Now, the Minister of Water Resources, Sulaiman Adamu, also disclosed Council's approval of 11 billion naira contract for the construction of the Jare Art Dam in Katsina State, which has been abandoned since 2006. He said the completion period of the contract is 36 months. Moving on now to the National Assembly. Well, Senate has mandated its Committee on Judiciary and that of National Security and Intelligence to summon the National Security Advisor and the Attorney General of the Federation to swing into action to reverse the law establishing the newly formed vigilante group in Kogi State, one which has been authorized to bear arms. This is a resolution reached during Wednesday's Senate plenary after Senator Dino Melaye drew the attention of the Red Chamber to moves by Governor Yahaya Bello to, according to him, establish state police through the back door. And Melaye expressed his concern that the law establishing the group known as Vigilante Service Group is in conflict with the nation's constitution.
There shall be a controller of vigilante services There's also a Deputy Controller General of the Vigilante Services. Mr. President, the most affront on the Constitution is in Section 15 of that law. It says the Vigilante Service Group shall carry den guns, hunters' guns, and other light weapons that are commensurate with their duties and responsibilities. Mr. President, this is how Metasini started in Kano.
In their separate contributions on the motion, a cross-section of senators says the Kogi situation continues to escalate and risk going out of hand. But they, however, noted that the Kogi saga needs not to be treated in isolation, as what is currently playing out is part of a bigger problem.
What is happening now is almost legalizing illegality and legalizing thuggery and militancy, if indeed this kind of law comes to be. So I rise to second the motion, and I want to urge that let this not be true. And even before the committee moves into action, I would like to urge my former colleague in the Kogi State Government House to quickly call his House of Assembly and see what they can do so that peace can prevail in this country. I second this motion, Mr. President, and I want this Senate to also condemn in totality what has just happened in Kogi State. I so second.
Nigerians are scampering for lives. The story is the same from Lokoja to Zamfara, from Zamfara to Taraba, Adamawa, Benue. The south, nowhere is spared. And I think, Mr. President, we need to know that there are different forces that have coalesced together to take away peace from Nigeria.
To lend my voice to this motion and to add that the situation in Rivers State should also be considered along with the situation in Kogi State. And to also plead, sir, that we should get the Attorney General of the Federation involved. Let us call these people, let us meet with them, let us know what they want to do and how we can do it in a manner that is consistent with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because as at this time, we have not made any amendment that will allow states to run the kind of forces that they want to run at this time.
This particular person is very defiant. He has defied everything that has been said and has been done. And Mr. President, I just want to react quickly to what Senator Magnus Abbey said. We are talking particularly about one person with whom we have found enough evidence to say something is wrong. We're not talking about somebody that we have not heard anything about. And we're not talking about a state that has not been in the eye of the storm. And there is no security challenge right now there. We're talking about states like Plateau, like...
On his part, Senator Ike Ekweremadu says the security architecture of the country is largely overstretched and as such cannot effectively protect the people, and as such making it necessary to have other groups complementing the existing security forces.
I will keep saying that the type of security architecture we have cannot protect our people. So it is in realization of this that almost every government, it's not just Zamfara, that have set up one kind of vigilante or the other. But the danger of these things is that they are not regulated perfectly well. Because a state governor will now set up his own law and then do whatever he wants to do with the law. But if we have a situation where there's an act of National Assembly or an amendment to the Constitution that provides for state police, then the issue of the regulation now comes in.
Well, staying on Senate matters, the upper chamber is on the verge of confirming the appointment of Aishah Ahmed as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. At Wednesday's Senate session, the Red Chamber conceded the request of President Muhammadu Buhari on the confirmation of the nomination of Mrs. Ahmed for the position in Nigeria's Apex Bank, an act which is in accordance with the provisions of Section 8, 1 and 2 of the CBN Act 2007.
Senators, the purpose of this motion on the other paper is for the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, to be referred to the relevant committee for further legislative action. I therefore move that the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, be referred to the appropriate committee for further legislative action, I so move.
Even as we had highlighted the significance of this exercise because of the critical role the CBN plays in our economy, I so, Mr. President, rise to second that the Senate do consider the request of Mr. President on the confirmation of the nomination of the following persons as highlighted by the leader.
The matter was subsequently referred to the Committee on Banking.
In the commission of Mrs. Aishah Ahmed, and also one earlier read today of Mr. Edward Lamtek Adamu, and referred to appropriate committees. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. This is referred to Committee on Banking. Again, within 1 week, your report should come back. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Senate is nearing confirmation of 4 nominees of the President as members of the Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, of the Central Bank in accordance with the provisions of Section 12, subsection 1 and 4 of the CBN Act 2007. The 4 nominees are Professor Adiola Adenikunju, Dr. Ali Rafindadi Sanusi, Dr. Robert Chikwendo Asogwa, and Dr. Ashik Meidugo. The motion on the request of the President for the confirmation of the nominees has also been referred to the Committee on Banking with a mandate of reporting within a week. Moving away now from the Senate straight to the House of Representatives, where the House says it will re-gazette and retransmit the declined electoral bill for presidential assent. The House spokesman, Abdul Razak Namdas, who disclosed this at the press briefing in Abuja, stressed that the House will not override the President's veto on the electoral bill. Namdas, who chairs the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, said the lower chamber agrees with the President on 2 out of the 3 clauses that made him decline assent to the bill. According to the spokesman, the House will expunge the 2 areas from the electoral bill and make it go through the full cycle of lawmaking and retransmit to the President for assent.
Election. If we do not have powers on how to organize this election, that means we do not even have the power to even pass the Electoral Act itself. Completely, we don't have that powers. So that means the Electoral Act itself is an illegal thing.
He noted that it is not true to say the National Assembly does not have the constitutional power to reorder elections. And Namdas also disclosed that the House is in the process of overriding President Muhammadu Buhari on 10 bills. He said that 10 bills exclude the electoral bill, but includes the Peace Corps bill and others.
In view of this, we will re-gazette the Electoral Act itself and expunge the areas that we are in agreement with the President.
You're watching the news on Galaxy Television. Still ahead, House of Representatives to investigate missing $150,000 from the IAAF coffers. Details in a moment. To join us again. Welcome back. Now for more updates and latest news, log on to our website, galaxytvonline.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can also follow or interact with us via our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV, or tweet at us at GalaxyTV. Now don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at officialGalaxyTV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. Staying with the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has moved to investigate the alleged disappearance of $150,000 from the International Amateur Athletic Federation to the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, AFN. This followed a motion on the matters of urgent national importance by Honorable Doye Diri, representing Bayelsa State, during plenary sitting. Diri noted the reports published on various news outlets where the IAAF reportedly paid the sum of $150,000 to AFN instead of $15,000, which was its annual grants to member federation for the year 2017. He said, according to the report, IAAF accountants later discovered the error and subsequently asked AFN to refund the excess payment, but the money seemed to have disappeared into thin air.
This motion is on the urgent need to investigate the alleged disappearance of $150,000 from the International Amateur and Athletics Federation to AFN, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, and the threat of banning our dear country, Nigeria, if the money is not returned.
The motion was unanimously adopted by members when it was put to a voice vote by the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara. The House therefore mandated its Committee on Sports to carry out forensic audit on the alleged looting of the excess grant payment and determine steps to be taken to refund the money to the IAAF to prevent Nigeria being banned. The House also resolved to invite the Minister of Youth and Sport, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, and the Central Bank of Nigeria and any other connected parties to explain their roles in the matter. Away from the National Assembly talking judiciary right now, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has adjourned till Thursday, March 15 to deliver a ruling on the application by the former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Olisa Metu, seeking permission to travel to the United Kingdom for medical treatment. Again, Metu was brought to the court in a wheelchair, and after cross-examination of his ninth witness, his counsel, Emeka Etiaba, informed the trial judge, Justice Okon Abang, of their fresh application asking for the release of the defendant's international passport to enable him travel to the United Kingdom for medical treatment. Now, Justice Abang reminded the defense counsel of his earlier ruling where he refused the application on the grounds that there was no concrete evidence to show that the ailment cannot be treated in Nigeria, which according to him, Metu has not appealed against at a higher court. But Metu's counsel insisted that new facts have emerged regarding the defendant's health, arguing that his client's health condition has deteriorated to the extent that it can only be handled outside Nigeria. In opposing Metu's application, prosecution counsel Silvanus Tahir asked the court to dismiss the application on the grounds that there was no medical report to show that Metu's health condition cannot be treated in Nigeria.
We made progress in the matter. Our ninth witness concluded his testimony, and at that point I drew the attention of the court to the plight of the first defendant, who was experiencing excruciating pains, and we needed to take his application so that he will know whether he's going for a medical checkup overseas or treatment or not. The court granted our application to bring the motion forward. But our application to have the motion heard in the absence of the first defendant, who had so much pain, was declined, and I thought it was deserved.
After the court proceedings, Meju was gently wheeled into a waiting car and he is expected to be back in court for ruling on his application on Thursday. The former PDP spokesman has been standing trial for allegedly collecting 400 million naira from the former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki for media campaign. Moving on now to Oyo State. Well, authorities of the State Police Command have assured family of a civilian allegedly killed by a security agent within the premises of the Trans Amusement Park in Ibadan of justice. Already, the Oyo State government, through the Bureau of Investment Promotion and Public-Private Partnership, has closed down the bar where the unfortunate incident took place. The Public Relations Officer of the State Police Command, Adekunle Ajishibutu, while speaking with correspondent Kunlojo on the level of investigation, said police would get to the root of the incident. Parties to continue to maintain peace and allow the law to take its course on the incident. Our correspondent learned that authorities of the 2 Division of the Nigerian Army, Odogbo in Ibadan, has already commenced investigation on the same matter. Well, moving on now, some legal practitioners have expressed mixed reactions on President Muhammadu Buhari's recent visit to communities affected by herdsmen farmers' crisis. Speaking with Galaxy TV News, Barrister Tunde Salami believes that the president has not shown enough concern to the plight of victims in the massacred communities. Another legal practitioner, Adekunloju, was of the opinion that though the visit was delayed, it was a welcome development which will bring succor to the masses.
Sensitive our president is, because after several criticism, and I think he fell for the criticism because it's been a while. It's been a while since the massacre happened to those troubled states, and he has really not showed concern. In fact, he failed to say anything about it until recently when he started visiting it. So the question is, what exactly is, what impact is that his presence playing at this point in time? So it's nothing. It's just an effort in futility.
It builds on him to have what I would call swift reaction to almost all the issues, and this one peculiarly because lives were lost in the process. I know about presidents who, even in the heat of the crisis, visit such places, perhaps under some security apparatus. I mean, it will be backed up by some security officers.
On the forthcoming elections, Tunde Salami urges Nigerians to pray for the country and vote wisely.
Just keep praying for Nigeria, because as it is, it shows, I think the ball is in our court as citizens. We know what to do. 2019 is coming. But for us to, I think we've banged more on the president, trying to see if he could convince us. But he hasn't really convinced us. So let's wait and see what would happen in 2019, and let's see if we as citizens are smart enough now.
Staying in Lagos and talking health now. The state government has begun free vaccination and the prevention of measles infection. Special advisor to the governor on primary health care, Dr. Olufemi Ononuga, says the purpose of the campaign is to reduce measles mortality rate as it can account for nearly 1 million deaths in sub-Saharan Africa.
The aim of the campaign is to immunize at least 95% of children aged 9 months to 59 months with measles vaccine in all LGAs, regardless of their previous immunization status. The service is free. The vaccine is safe. Lagos State will mount 4,526 fixed and temporary fixed posts. Plans have been made to implement activities that would attract children and caregivers to vaccination posts.
He also pleaded with parents to take their children to designated health posts for vaccination.
I hereby seize this opportunity to encourage our parents to caregivers to ensure that their children and wards are taken to the primary health care clinics to receive measles vaccines and all other scheduled routine immunizations. This is with a view to protecting them against the preventable killer diseases.
The vaccination starts March 15 and will end March 29 this year, and it will take place in various hospitals in local government areas across the state. Still ahead, Nigerian Meteorological Agency warns of flash flooding ahead rainy season. Details in a moment.